ChatGPT needs an app. Now, it's actually really, really easy to use it on your Android smartphone. All you have to do is just go to OpenAI.com. And if you're wondering what ChatGPT is, I really want to talk about this because I just feel like it's a very bandwagony conversation that maybe has some implication for some folks, doesn't for others. And it reminds me a lot of what we got with Google, like back in the day, like whenever it's like, oh, Google's amazing. And it's funny because I was using a layered level of Google for a long time because if you remember, well, you probably don't, but if you're my age and you remember the outset of the major innovation when it came to the internet and basically getting into people's homes back in the 90s, if you went to the Yahoo webpage, it was actually powered by Google, and you would use the Google search engine when you would search stuff there. It was a big thing. That's one of the reasons why Yahoo was such like a popular page back in the day, because it was useful. Not so much anymore. But, well, I mean, unless you care what the Kardashians are up to. However, when it comes to ChatGPT, a lot of people wonder what it is. And it's kind of like the next iteration of things. I mean, when you looked at Google back in the day, it was just like learning how to interface with it. It took a long time for people to pick up the competency to engage with it on a daily basis and get the results that you wanted. You could have two different people type something in and look for different things on Google and get two completely different results based off of how they knew how to interact with it, using quotations, using asterisks, searching for keywords. You know, some people would be like, oh, I looked on Google, I can't find anything. I'm like, well, what did you search for? So, well, Google basically was just search results. It's a search engine, meaning like you type something in, it finds for you, so you can go and you can click on it and you can investigate it, or you can use it for entertainment, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to search for. Well, ChatGPT is a little bit different, but it still looks the same. You get the same familiar concept. It pops up. You've got the little search bar down at the bottom, and you type in, I mean, questions, right? Questions, or, I mean, it's really interesting because basically it's a different type of search engine, because it's not really a search engine. It's basically generative AI, artificial intelligence. So it can create products. Instead of just showing you results, like when you were a kid and you went into the library and you're like, okay, I'm looking for this book. And it, showed up 6 different results, and then you got to go use the Dewey Decimal System. You got to find a little card and go find it in the system and go find your book. Well, that turned into, okay, now we have Google, we have the internet, now we have this generative AI. It'll actually make things. You can ask it to create a set of code for you that you can use for programming. Or you can even show it, you can say, hey, this code is broken. Can you look at this and try and help me figure it out? Can you try and help me connect this to something else? Can you try and, you can use it with different plugins, different interfaces. You can even loop it in with other different outlets to like create things like AI imagery and ask for things. Now, it's interesting because most of it, from what I can tell, you look at it, we're on like the 4th evolution of ChatGPT. It stops in its access to the internet up to some point in 2021. So if you want to ask it a modern thing, modern as in like the last 2 years, it'll tell you, hey, I have limitations because, well, I'm stuck with a listing of the internet from 2 years ago. And I think that there's some hesitancy on the back end side to try and loop that in because, of course, there are people that keep asking these questions. They're like, oh, it wants to take over the world. You ask these solutions how to come up with the answers. And of course, the AI is like, sentient, whatever. I mean, I don't really think it's sentient at this point. But we have a long way to go. And there's all these different other ones. Google has their Bard now. Microsoft has Bing, which is tied in on the back end of ChatGPT. So I think there's a future in this. And of course, like I said, it's very easy to use. You can log into OpenAI.com. You go there, .com, right? Yeah. OpenAI.com. Go in there and mess around with it. And the thing is as you use it more, you can find out more things. You can have it like this latest evolution, especially with ChatGPT 4, has brought in a lot more stuff, making it more conversational. And I was listening to something on the radio the other day because there was a letter written by Elon, signed. A letter that was signed or petitioned Elon Musk, some other guys, and like big think tank people saying there need to be some sort of limitations, some stuff on it, maybe take a 6-month pause and find out how to evaluate the best way to implement this in society because it can do so much stuff. You can tell it like, hey, I want you to write me an essay, give it the prompts, like, okay, write me a Victorian era English essay with this for the basis, based off of A Tale of Two Cities, arguing this in this voice, and write this for me. And it'll write you an essay. And not trying to help anybody cheat, but they were trying to say, for the longest time, there were always these plagiarism checks and balances in place where you could plug some stuff into a system and see if it was, something that was plagiarized, see if it was something that was copied. But the thing is with ChatGPT and these other AI search engines, it creates basically original works based off of the inputs that you give it. I mean, you can ask for lines of code, you can ask for a formula spreadsheet, ask it how to do that. You're like, hey, how do I do a spreadsheet where I can create this result, right? How do I do a spreadsheet on Excel and with different parameters, and say, how do I find all of these? And it'll tell you step by step how to do the spreadsheet so that way you can find and get the report of the formula that you want. So you can ask it to write a poem for you. You can ask all sorts of things and it will do it within its limitation, and even ask for additional context, or you can provide additional context to kind of create and modify things how you want them. And I've seen so many of these videos like, oh, ChatGPT is amazing, you can do this, do that. And it's the same 50 stinking videos and articles that are just copied because they want SEO prioritization. So here's my thing. When it comes to ChatGPT, if you want to use it on your phone, it's very easy. It can be a very helpful tool. It's something that you can use. There are limitations. It's not something that you can be like, hey, tell me what the best search terms are on Google right now to make a YouTube video. Won't tell you that because it's based off of stuff from 2 years ago. But you can ask it some things like talking about SEO, how the algorithm works, SEO, like different principles of things, more abstract concepts, and you can also create end result products, and it's pretty neat. So I would say go in, mess around with it, and you don't need to pay for it. It's a completely free service. You just have to set up your account, and then you can start asking things to the ChatGPT genie. I call it that because it's like it grants wishes almost. It's like software wishes. It's like informational product wishes, but there are limitations, right? You can't ask for more wishes. But it can be something fun to mess around with, and it's something certainly very easy and very powerful you can use right on your phone. Again, all you have to do is go into OpenAI. I've already got mine set up, so I just click on Try ChatGPT, and then it'll pop up, ask you to log in. Whenever you log in, all you have to do is do right there, welcome back. I've got it linked with my Google account, which I'm not going to show on here because I don't want y'all sending me emails and signing me up for spreadsheets and stuff. But yeah, it's very, very easy to use, and I think it can be a helpful tool. And I think it is part of the future when it comes to this new digital frontier. To steal a coined phrase from the Tron Legacy movie. But overall, I don't think at this point in time it's anything that you need to worry about stealing your job, but it can be a very helpful tool, especially when you're talking about, you can even have it generate blog posts. If you were to link it in with the API and your keys and all that stuff, you could actually type and like you can tell it the prompts, have it generate a blog post, and then you can link it over so you can post it in certain ways, in certain formats, and different ways. So, or you can at least just verify it, read it, and then just copy and paste it. So, I don't know, pretty neat stuff. But it also worrisome because if you look at it and the way that's been implemented, there's been a lot of articles, and there was some flack. I think it was CNET that was getting kickback because a lot of their articles down at the bottom would have little asterisks saying it was generated, by a staff blogger or staff writer or whatever, or generated by generative AI and reviewed by an editor. There are like articles that there's content that's going to start going out there that is out there that's being generated by AI and just being reviewed by somebody and then posted, as opposed to maybe like an actual original work. So interesting to see how this will be implemented in the future. There was stuff the other day, somebody used an AI engine and created that picture of the Pope in the Balenciaga gear, and people thought it was real, which, it looked really real. There's some really crazy things that you can create with AI and some of these things, especially if you know what you're doing. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to have my discussion on it, let you know, hey, this is how you can use it if you want to. Go straight over to openai.com and sign up, log in, start asking away some questions, have fun with it. Treat it, Just like Google. I mean, if you remember how Google started off when you first started using it 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago at this point, that's kind of where we're at now with this one in kind of the infantile stages for us, more so than the actual AI, generative AI itself. So that's all I've got. That's my thoughts on it. That's how you get there. Have fun with it. And yeah, that's all I got. So if you have any questions or comments, please go down to the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, I know it was a little bit weird of a discussion to have, but I was just sitting here thinking about it. I was like, let me talk about this because, well, I've been looking into it myself the last couple of months. So that's all I've got. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.